The piston is driven down the cylinder to drive the staples when the stapler is fired. The driver is attached to the piston stem, which is threaded to the piston. Most problems with the piston occur to the threads between it and the piston stem. After years of normal use, the threads will fatigue and eventually fail, causing the two to separate. This damage can also occur if a staple is fired into something hard, such as concrete or metal. Replacing the driver piston is a repair that you can do yourself, and I'm going to show you how. I'll begin by removing the bumper from the top of the stapler. I'll use a large screwdriver to pry the bumper away from the actuator. Next, I'll remove the top cover. Next, I'll remove the actuator. There's a gasket between the actuator and the poppet. I'll go ahead and remove it. Next, I'll remove the plunger stem. Now I'll remove the screws that secure the shoe and the driver guide. Now use a screwdriver to remove the bumper. With the bumper removed, now I can remove the driver and piston. As well as the poppet. Now I'll disassemble the driver, piston, and piston stem assembly. To do this, I'll clamp the skirts on the piston in a vise. Then I'll use a wrench to unscrew the piston stem. Now I'll transfer the piston ring from the old piston to the new one. Now I'll reinstall the driver and piston stem assembly back onto the piston. Now I can drop the poppet back down into the cylinder and install the piston assembly. Followed by the bumper. Now reinstall the driver guide and magazine onto the driver, making sure it aligns with the cylinder, and I'll slide the shoe over the magazine. And now I can secure these parts with the screws. And now just screw the plunger stem back in place. Now reinstall the actuator gasket and the actuator. The actuator can be a little difficult to align. As you try to install it onto the plunger, it'll tend to want to push the entire assembly down. So the easy way to do it is to use a small pick, insert it through one of the holes, and use this as an alignment tool to line it up with the threaded holes beneath it. Press it into place, and now you can install the screws. And I'll finish up by reinstalling the cap and the actuator bumper. That's all it takes to install a new driver piston in your flooring stapler.